The surprising way to become instantly more attractive. Hey everybody, it's Diana Jarrell Gutierrez, your intuitive relationship coach and spiritual mentor. And in this video, we are going to talk about ways that you can really amp up your attractiveness. Most of us are taught when we're growing up to change the way that we are in order to make a guy like us, right? There's so many books about that. Do this, do that, and he'll come to you. And so often we don't pay attention to the inner world and the energy. When you are attractive, you're attractive to everything, to men, to opportunities, to friends, to, new experiences. And it really comes down to one thing. I want you to get a sheet of paper out and get something to write with because these are really, really simple shifts that can make a huge difference. Even if you just do one of them, you are going to significantly increase the amount of attractiveness that you're radiating out to the universe so that you can get more love and attract the right kind of partner. Sound good? All right. And if you're new to my community, welcome. Please subscribe so you never miss any videos on how to trust and love yourself. So here's the secret. If you want to be instantly more attractive, you have to learn to do one thing, and that is to get out of scarcity thinking, meaning the belief that there's not enough for you. There's not enough men, there's not enough money, there's not enough whatever it is. That energy can cause us to hold on to relationships that are inappropriate, right? That aren't going anywhere. And it can really block you from being magnetically attractive to all of the other options out there. So then, of course, I can hear you saying, like, how do I get out of that kind of thinking? Here's the first step. Number one is to train your brain to look for evidence of more than enough. I call it abundance. Some people call it, magic juice, whatever you want to call it. Train your brain to look for evidence. Our brains are wired to keep us safe. And left to our own devices, we will default to what is safe, aka old patterns, and that is going to keep you in the same kind of pattern and energy and relationship that hasn't brought you much joy but feels quite familiar and comfortable. So here's an easy thing you can do. If you want to start training your brain for evidence, go to the grocery store. Yes, I said it. No, I'm not encouraging you to buy a bunch of chocolate unless that's your MO, and then girlfriend, go for it. It's about looking at all the abundance. So there's nowhere, that really exudes this energy more than the produce section, typically, of a grocery store. If you go there and really put your energy and your focus on all of the produce, let's say there's a ton of bananas and they're all different sizes and shapes, but there's just a ton of them, or lemons, right? And just give yourself 30 seconds to a minute. You can be the weird lady for 30 seconds to a minute and just take in, like, with all your senses, your eyes, smell the bananas, see all of the abundance around you. And that's actually going to, like, train your reticular activator, the part of your brain that needs to shift into a different pattern, to look for abundance everywhere, not just in the produce department, but also in your life. And if you're dating somebody and let's say it hasn't gone to exclusivity yet and you're getting anxious and scared and insecure that you're going to lose them, this is a great thing to do. Go to the grocery store, remind yourself, wow, okay, there's lots of people out there. I'm going to spread my energy and remind myself, right, that there's more than one option always. And it calms your brain down and it really helps you stay in the present moment, which makes you more attractive. Okay, so that's tip number one, is train your brain to look for evidence of more than enough. Tip number two is to give some things away. And here's the asterisk. Give things away that can add value to someone else's life. When we do this, it says that I have something to give. And then the universe wants to give you more. Circulation of energy is really important if you want to up your attractiveness factor. And in this case, your magnetism with love, right? So where are you guided to give something away? Maybe it's a physical object. Maybe it's some of your time and energy to a good cause. Maybe it's money that you're donating to a good cause. Whatever it is, time, with your friend, to give her advice on, her new business plan, whatever you can do. It also really reminds you that you have something to offer, right? Instead of focusing on like the one guy that's not texting you, you are focusing on what you can offer the world, and that makes you instantly more attractive. And I wouldn't be surprised if once you started doing that, that guy starts texting you, and maybe, right? Maybe you get asked on a date, or maybe you don't even care at that point. So that is tip number 2. Give something that can add value to somebody else. And the last tip today is to deepen the connections you currently value. Plain and simple, look at the relationships currently in your life, not just the men that you're dating, but your relationships with your friends, your coworkers, your family members, could be anybody, your next door neighbor, the postman, and amp up the relationships that bring you joy, right? And I can hear some of you saying, well, what about the ones that don't? Well, then release those that are an energy drain. That third tip is kind of either or, right? So you want to, not either or, you want to do both. You want to amp up. And by amp up, I mean spend more time with the people that bring you joy. Make a commitment to see them more often or to connect with them, call them, be in their energy and theirs in yours, because that is going to make you more attractive. And again, sending that signal of what you really want to broadcast and what you really want to receive. And in the process of doing that, you may find that certain people will fall away naturally from your life, or they'll just kind of fade out, or, you have an uncomfortable conversation and you renegotiate that relationship. So let's go over these 3 tips again. If you want to become instantly more attractive, the big secret is get out of scarcity thinking. Get out of thinking that there's not enough of something. So step 1 is to train your brain to look for evidence of abundance. 2 is give something away of value that feels good to give, right? And then 3 is to deepen the connections that you value and or release those that are an energy drain. The more that you can practice any of these, ideally all of them, you'll find that you are less anxious in relationship because you're not expecting the other person to fulfill you and your happiness, which makes you more attractive and makes them want to spend more time with you and commit to you. I would love to hear from you. Which one of these tips really spoke to you? And if you can put a comment below, I read all of them and we can share in this community. And if you want to become a magnet for your heart's desire, you need to grab my free ebook called The 7 Things That Block Your Heart's Desire. It's complimentary. All you need to do is go to the website at deannadurrell.com, check out the first comment, and thanks so much for watching.